hey, the human nature is keep repeating the same mistakes all over again. We know that, we all been there. And when you when you're trying to be smart and using common sense, I would never buy a car without an inspection. Because where is the seller? There is somebody who will buy something which you shouldn't be buying. Used car is a used car, and the person who is selling the vehicle more likely have no idea. If it's a small place, yes, they are, and they will not disclose that. Even the bigger sellers, they will not disclose that, because when they buy in the cars from auctions, they have issues. At least probably 5% they have to send it back because they've been misdescribed. And for every seller is, they will not put everything perfect as so it would benefit you. There will always be issues, right? Certain things, yes, you should accept it because they are wear and tear, they're fair, depends on the age and the mileage of the vehicle, and they would be acceptable, right? Like wear and tear issues, which, yes, you can probably talk about these issues, but you accept it and keep looking for something better until you find things where there's completely nothing wrong. But in what I can advise you is, there will be certain things, there will be some like scratches and things like. There will never be a perfection. If you're looking for perfection, you have to keep looking and keep looking. Probably would be more than one inspection you would do. There probably would be more than one car you would be looking, and depends on your sort of standards. And yes, always make sure you do the inspection. You will just avoid yourself so much hassle later on, right? And obviously the inspection is not a prevention of the breakdown in the future, but obviously, same as you're buying a brand new vehicle, they still go wrong, and it doesn't mean you will go and reject the vehicle. It's just unfortunate. And as long as you have a right warranty, and as long as you bought it from respectful seller, something unfortunate will go wrong. Obviously, it will have to be fixed. But if you don't inspect the vehicle and just buying, it's your own fault. You can only blame yourself, because if you assume you just have to buy the car because you just been doing your old habit, then you can just expect things not working in the way you should be expecting, and especially if you're distance buying somewhere far away, you go in and get in the car. It will be a pain. You will just go through things where you should think you shouldn't really do this. Shouldn't be really doing this. Technically, they have to pick up the car if there are issues, but no one in a way will. And you will just simply ruin your couple of weeks getting things done. Lucky if you bought it from reputable seller, who will consider those sort of 14 days or 30 days. But I mean, when it will come to fixing things, it will be downtime again, and you will be sitting somewhere, taking cars somewhere to repairs and wasting your time, and that's what you want to save. That's the point of the inspection. If you're buying somewhere locally, and you obviously know that you trust them, obviously you bought the cars before from them, and everything was absolutely fine. Obviously, just don't use us. Use your gut instinct. It's about gut instinct, where you think you need, and mostly you really need it. It doesn't matter. You can buy it from a friend and be unhappy. With the cars, you never know. When something is go wrong, we don't really want to fix it. We want to sell it. It's just the nature, and of the the human itself. And normally you would sell the cars where there's something will be going wrong, or it's just already wrong and you just want to get rid of it. You know, you just want to get rid of it even with the faults. You know, that would be trend more for private sellers. You know, or even from small shady car sellers. You know, it is a trend, and sometimes even from good reputable sellers, they can be things you're thinking, really? That's a massive joke, you know. But I mean, it's about how those issues are dealt with, you know, and no one is perfect, you know, and things happen, but you will suffer, you know. I will guarantee you, you know, and especially if you haven't seen physically the vehicle, you know, then obviously use our premium service, you know, and you will know all the information what you need to know, you know, paint thicknesses, the previous damage, potential damage, you know, where we don't advise buying vehicles with previous history of any insurance write-off, you know. Yes, we can check if the repairs has been done satisfactory instead of just bodged up and fit back together quickly just to do a quick sell, you know, and then you buying that unrepaired vehicle, you know, and then thinking, blaming yourself again, you know, because it was your responsibility. If you haven't done it, you know, then you can do whatever you want to do, you know, and where you should have checked, unless somebody misrepresented the vehicle, and then obviously, if you want to deal with courts, and then order it again from us, engineer report, and then checking this vehicle, I'm more than happy to do it, you know, but we can do it all over again. But it's about minimizing your own risk, saving yourself time, money, effort, being smart by buying a vehicle, and get an inspector, the person who knows what they're doing, is a fully qualified mechanics, with more than 10 years in experience, everyone on the platform, you know, and just get an opinion, you know, and avoid unnecessary surprises in your life, you know. We can get this arranged vehicle to be delivered. We can also put a warranty on it, you know, so for the future issues, if there are any, you know, because inspection is not prevention of the breakdown, it's just to spot something. Is there anything presently wrong, you know, or could be wrong with because of some sort of audible noises. But make sure you check these vehicles, you know, because sometimes the vehicles, like I said, they're not prepped to your sort of standards, you know, for your needs. I mean, more. They prep for the standard what obviously the seller assumes it is the standard for them, you know. It might not be the standard for you as a customer, you know. That's a big difference, you know. So check the cars, you know. Don't buy a banger, you know, because it's your responsibility, you know. If you're not gonna look after yourself, no one will. You know, and the seller will sell it. They don't care, you know. Only thing they care is just to sell you a car, you know, because that is unfortunately that sort of business, you know. They sell it. It's a used vehicle. It is a used vehicle, and it's hard to always get things right, you know, and because you don't know who driven this vehicle in the past. It could be used for business. In and out, low mileage, in and out, but the vehicle is just a wreck, you know. And every vehicle has been driven individually by somebody, you know, and not all of the vehicles will feel the same, you know, even they are same age, same mileage, you know. It just depends the way they've been driven, the way they've been looked after, whether they've been abused, you know, beaten to death, you know, and not looked after, you know. All of those things together, how the interior looks, is it clean? Are they too worn for the age and mileage? You know, how the paintwork is. Is it too scratched, dented all the way around? You know, the wheels, the tires. You know, it's not always just about inspection. Find something wrong. It's just about the way the vehicle feels itself. You know, first impression counts. You know, so that's what it is as well. You know, and from who you're buying. You know, and what cars they have. You know, and that tells a lot, you know, and that tells a lot. And certain things where I go, or and inspectors go, sometimes you just simply, you know, as you walk in, you're not going to buy cars from them. You know, it's just, you know, never be too gullible. You know, if something doesn't feel right, just walk away. Sometimes you don't even need an inspector. You just went in a place, look at their cars, look how organized they are. When you ask them information about a vehicle, when you're on the phone, you know, can they find the car quickly? Can they tell you what's wrong? So that means, do they have at least some sort of health check report for themselves? You know, and if they don't, that means they're not organized. They can't find anything. If they don't know if he has 2 keys, if they don't know if the vehicle has been serviced. What is their policy about when they're selling a car? Would there be a service done, you know, if needed, you know, things like that. If it doesn't feel right, you know, just leave it, you know. Don't force yourself into something where you know you will regret, because it's a flow, you know. The purchasing something, it's a flow, and normally if something doesn't stick the way you sort of should be, the way you feel, and something, there's a signs, you know, there's certain signs. Just ignore it. You wanna feel right, you know. Don't wanna feel rushed, you know. And reserve the vehicle. Put refundable deposit on. Just be smart, you know. Don't jump. There's so many cars, you know. That car is not the right car. Maybe it's not the only car in the market. Don't play you are desperate, you know. Just don't be desperate. When you will act desperate, that's where you're gonna make a mistakes, and things gonna go badly wrong for you, you know. Remember, if you need help, carexample.com. Have a look what we do online. Subscribe on our YouTube channels, you know. We work for you. That's our mission. You know. There's only thing what I can help, I give him back. That's what I can help. If you might be a doctor, NHS person, you help people, you know. We help people, I help people, and I give him back what I know best. You know, if something doesn't feel right, it's not feel right, I would never tell you to buy the vehicle, you know. So, you know, we work for people, you know. We want you to have a good car. Everyone here wants you to buy a good vehicle, you know. And it's not always the first inspection, unfortunately, because how good you will do your due diligence researching the vehicle by your own instinct, you know, that will also determine obviously the outcome of inspection. If you find something randomly from somewhere because you've seen it's because of the price, the chances are there will be inspection report ain't gonna be great, you know. It's just everything is linked together, you know. So remember, we want you to have a good car. Make sure you check. Make sure £170 will save you a lot of time and hassle from going to solicitors, reporting sellers if they don't want to rectify the thing, so getting vehicles back if it's that bad. Not always you assume you'll get the vehicle, you can refuse it because you just simply want it refused, unless you bought it contactless, you never seen the vehicle, you know. We got this 1 month's return, but not always. You can't assume you will just return the vehicle because you don't like it, or you will return the vehicle because there is a repairable fault. You bought this vehicle, you know. You can't just reject it because you have to give. There's a process you have to go through. You know, if it's something repairable, it's repairable. They will fix it, and it's fine. You know, even if you don't like it, it's your problem. You know. Unless they will simply have had enough of you, and they will simply take the car back. but we are cheaper. Remember, we are cheaper than your problems afterwards, than your badly made decision, solicitors, trading standards. Find out their policy of returning the vehicle. Maybe they're registered with some ombudsman. Then you have to go through that ombudsman thing, you know, and you will have to get another report from us, an engineer's report, you know, and it's a lengthy process. You know, if you want to go through all that, I don't wish anyone to be involved in this process. You know, when the seller would stand their ground, because within the law they have the law supports them as well. You know what they need to do, unless you get on some bad seller which will simply ignore everything what you're saying. You know, I only think you will end up then going to court. You know, that's gonna cost you money, everything. You know, and remember, we are cheaper than that. You know, your £170 will save you from the hassle. You know, or even our budget or basic inspection, if it depends if you're buying something very, very cheap and old, you know, at least you'll get a basic understanding. So be